Rose Hill Downtown Development Authority meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Ross, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is roll call. Mr. Moran is here. Supervisor Porcarelli.
Here.
Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Ms. Stanko.
Here.
Ms. Pucak.
Here.
Mr. Ranley.
Here.
Ms. Armiak.
Here.
Ms. Karn.
Here.
Mr. Jacobson.
Here.
Next item is are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? And if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Pucak, supported by Mr. Jacobson to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is our presentations. Introduction of Michelle Lambrick, Farmers Market Volunteer.
Come on up. Yeah, so Michelle joined us. She recognized that I needed some help with the farmer's market, and she was so kind to offer that help. She's been fantastic. New Island resident from Fort Wayne, correct?
Yes.
And she's been helping with social media, recruiting vendors, just getting things organized. So I thought it'd be great to have herself introduce herself.
So Michelle Lebrecht, my husband and I just were 5 months new to the island, so getting settled in. And as Ross said, I kind of saw that maybe the farmer's market could use a little bit of an oomph. And my husband and I owned and operated a market in Fort Wayne, Indiana for 4 years. And by the end of the 4 years, we felt it was running pretty well. We averaged about 99 to 100 vendors. It was just a once-a-month market, and had a crowd of anywhere from, 2,500 to 3,000 people that would come through. So it takes a lot of hard work, and we learned a lot in that process. And coming in here, I don't know if it could grow it that big, but, if we could get an average of maybe 30 to 40 vendors at a time, especially starting next year, taking the winter and, really looking at things and how I can just help really promote it, and not only promote it here within our community, but get some of the outside communities as well coming in, and also that would direct business down Macomb into your businesses. So I'm going to be working on that the rest of the season and then over the winter. And then if there's any ideas that you all have of how I can help promote your businesses within the market and drive business or drive customers, down the street and get them in there, I am more than welcome to entertain those ideas and, get a fresh perspective on things. So.
If Ross could give us your contact information, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'll be sure to share her contact information with you all after this.
Thank you for your work.
You're very welcome.
Yeah,
You're
welcome to
welcome.
Rose Hill.
She's been awesome.
It's like in the blood now. When we left Fort Wayne, I was like, oh, I'm done with markets, and then it's just there. And every time I would look at the market, I'm like, oh, maybe if we did this, and finally I just stepped forward and said, could I help? So, yeah, appreciate
Well,
it.
if you see any maintenance issues that need to happen at that corner, let us know, please, because I know not all of us visit it all the time, and so if you see something that's out of order, if there's trash around there, let us know, please, and we'll make sure we'll take care of that. So
Okay.
thank you for
sounds
your
good.
volunteer work.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
We will move on to our next item, which is Allie is going to present the event sponsorship program for the Community Sculpture Unveiling.
Hi, everyone. So we're half doing that, half revisiting the sculptures that are up for their leasing term from 2023. So do you want me to start with that?
Yeah, you can
Since
start with
it's
the
up?
sculpture
Okay.
proposal first.
So
and then-
this is the same slide. I just added on, I'll go to the three pieces that, just so you guys can see the dollar amount breakdown of those three additional pieces that we didn't talk about last meeting, which would be Simon's piece. He agreed to sell the piece for an additional $5,000. The total value he had initially put in his submission was $13,000. And just something to note with Simon, he does live in Texas and he is not in a hurry to get his piece. So he's willing to like break up those payments, or he's pretty easy to work with. So just something to keep in mind. I would say this piece and Kelly's piece, which we'll go back to, are the two pieces that we would be I think that you guys should consider purchasing if you were to purchase any of the ones from the last round. And then just for the sake of, so everyone knows exactly what the cost of these last round of pieces that were leased. Henry's piece, $15,000 is the total value. $11,000 would be owed to purchase the piece. So we've paid $4,000. And then Caroline's, which has a hefty price tag on it. So that one would be $22,000 to pay the balance to purchase that piece. My advisement would be to consider Simon's piece and Kelly's piece. I would say Kelly's piece would be the first I would consider. I'll go back up here. So you guys have already paid a leasing stipend of $3,000 into the piece, and her total value is $5,000. So you've already paid for over half of the piece. This would be the only decision that would have to be made at tonight's meeting. The whole like switching of the foundations, all of that I talked about. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about that last meeting. Those decisions don't need to be made like right now at this meeting. I just wanted to put that option in there of what you could eventually do longer term if you wanted to purchase her piece. It's not something that has to be all done right now.
Can I interrupt for
So,
1 minute?
yeah.
Ross, on our action item for this piece, the action item is to purchase it for amount of $4,000, but Ally's showing $2,000.
Right.
So
Yeah,
do you want me to
at the
explain?
last meeting, she stated that this piece would need a new base, which would be 2,000. So together it'd be 4,000.
Okay, so
Yep.
it's the piece and
The
the
base,
base.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
I
were
want to
wanting
make sure
to,
we make note of that
Okay.
in the motion.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So I kind of broke it down to, so I was doing a little switcheroo with the sculptures because like we talked about, Kelly's piece does not properly fit on that base. So I would propose to pour a new base on DDA property, and that way I think that just logistically, since it's DDA owned property, and having a permanent piece, just like we have her other piece on DDA property, kind of works the best. And then I had proposed putting another piece in place of that. Like I said, doesn't necessarily have to be this piece. This is just the prototype that I made for the glass wall that I would be more than happy to give to you at cost if you enjoy it. But it's just, that's the cost that it cost me to create the prototype. Just trying to come up with solutions to, if the intent is to continue to add like a collection of sculptures along Macomb Street, considering being cost effective and just making sure the pieces are in the right locations. So I broke it down to, again, this would be to move the piece down to DDA property and pour a new concrete base, and then to put that prototype piece in place of Kelly's current piece, which is in between the literary hideaway and Island Coney, which is Slats own that property. But the only decision that does need to be determined today is if you are wanting to purchase windows, just because Kelly's leasing, or everyone's leasing stipend or term is technically up, I believe, the 23rd of September. Let me put it in here. The 21st. So all of those other aspects that I talked about could happen if you are wanting to over whenever, really. I was just putting out possibilities to that.
Anybody have any questions for Kelly on these items?
Got a question related to the table in the back of the packet that you sent out, Ross. So we have 2 of Kelly's pieces, is that right?
You have purchased one.
Okay.
That piece is across from Lions Park on DDA owned property. This is her second piece
Second one.
that
Currently renting.
Yeah.
is leased, has been leased for.
Then the 4
$3,000.
you mentioned, so Caroline's, Henry, was that one?
Yep.
That was, okay, yep.
Yep.
Simon's,
Henry, Caroline, these two I would advise, unless you all really, really love them. It's just a high price tag for sculptures.
Where it used to be, it was at,
It is, it's at the back, okay.
I'm not sure our budget allows us to do
Yeah.
that, so we'd have to do it over time if we did it, so.
Yeah, and I just think at this point, and I think the leasing of sculptures to have, I think it was a very good introduction, especially to the community, of incorporating art in the downtown area. I think that it might be wise to consider if there's pieces that you really enjoy, if you're wanting to lease again, and with the intent of purchasing permanent pieces that you want to like incorporate into the downtown area, that makes sense. But I just would think that since you've already put $3,000 into Kelly's piece, it's less than what another leasing term would be if you were wanting to lease that piece. So,
and then, so with these expiring, aside from the 3 pieces we purchased, and I'm not including the GI sculpture or the community sculpture, these 4 would be the balance of what we'd have left on Macomb.
so there's Tim's piece, Kelly's piece, Nick's piece. Yep. So there would be 4 permanent sculptures, and then we have the GI, and then we will have our 30-foot long community glass wall installation.
That's what I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around. Is so what we're stating here is we would proceed with 4 permanent sculptures. I haven't heard any discussion to add any additional ones, whether lease or is that something?
Yeah, I think I would like, once we get Ally's piece installed at Lions Park, then we start talking about, what's the future?
Right.
What's our plan to add additional? Are we going to do any more murals? We need to kind of put together a plan, I think. Maybe
I
a
agree.
3-year and 5-year plan.
Yeah, and we've briefly talked about that, and I would be more than happy to put together some options if you guys are wanting to just see what else could be done. I know when I was initially contracted by the DDA 4 years ago now, that's crazy. Ron had talked about wanting to have sculptures at the front entrance or turning onto Macomb from Meridian, those 2 like circular areas, which that could be a good focus if you're wanting to incorporate more sculptural work. But I do think that you guys have done a lot, and I think it's awesome. I think having 5 murals and this huge installation that is community-based and for permanent sculptures, I think it's definitely has taken off and in a good spot, but I think it can be something that's spread out over years, you know, so that it's not like straining anything budget-wise and just makes sense for the area.
Is there any other option between a mural and a sculpture? Is there like, and I'm not an artsy person, so I'm asking that just because.
I mean, there's, I have seen a lot of really cool, like, interactive type work that is both, like, playful and incorporates sculptural elements. So stuff like that could be cool.
I bring that up because I saw something, the town that I came from in Ohio, they did something, and it was nothing permanent, but it was something that they were park benches in the shape of books, kids' books, and it encouraged summer reading. And like, it was just, you know, spaced, and, you know, that was, hey, mom, dads, take your kids here, read a
Yeah.
book in the summer.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that, you know, that we would own forever, but it was just interactive, and I really like that.
Yeah.
There's things like, you know, in my old neighborhood in Detroit, like they had bike racks, but were also pieces of art, you know, where
Yep.
it's interactive, where it's utilized, you know, it's functional art, you know, and I think that that's definitely something that would be great to explore, where, you know, the public actually interacts with the art and uses
Yep.
the art for, you know, public benefit, right?
Yeah, and if that's something that you guys are interested in, I think that would be really cool and great, and people would enjoy that. And I think I included some of those, some inspiration images a long time ago, just when we were presenting like all of the options. There's even, I've seen artists where they've created like these really cool, almost like dome-like swing sets that like reflect different colors and glass like coming through. I know an artist that does that, and you're having an experience on the swing set, but also it's like an art experience because you're experiencing like all of these different colors and lights. So I think things like that would be really unique and different than other cities. And I think that, I don't know what the plans are in terms of like further developing Lions Park. Do you guys have, is that?
Slow process.
Okay. But I think thinking about that and how you can make that space a multi-generational space where it's not just where kids enjoy it equally as much as adults do. I think that could be really unique in creating something that's a little bit different than like a regular swing set or a regular bench or something that like engages people in that space. But yeah, I would be more than happy to, once we get this wall done next year.
Just curious.
Yeah.
The
No, I think
DIA
that's great.
that program that came here, how did that come about?
That was through the Art Alliance.
Okay.
So they applied through, anyone can apply.
Okay.
You have to have, you know, be a nonprofit or a government entity, but you can apply and they just come out and, you know, just install it for you. So yeah, I mean, so thankful that they did that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw, you know, because I live near Tipsy Fish, I, you know, saw people taking their pictures with it and, you know,
Yeah.
just interacting with, you know, that outdoor picture.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's great.
thank you.
Anything else, Riley? Okay. You want to talk about
And
the
yeah, and then I
unveiling?
can briefly talk about that. So I talked with Ross earlier. I'm still very much going to shoot for the 27th, but it's going to be down to the wire for me. That's if I have absolutely zero hiccups, which I already had a hiccup last week with my kiln. So I had to order a new heating element, which took a week to come in. I am just worried that if we put out the information to have this event on the 27th and I have something next week that goes wrong. All of that information's already out, and then yeah. So I'm a little bit concerned about that because I am 90% sure it will be installed by then. No matter what, I'm going to shoot for that date. It's just going to have everything go perfectly well from here on out. So I have 2 solid weeks of fusing in my 5 by 4 foot kiln. So, and that's just like you close the kiln and turn it on, and it's been going good except for last week. So if it works, which I know that you had said to apply for this grant, he could apply to it now. The wall is, I would say, 75% done. It's just a matter of fusing all of our tiles, finishing that, and then our frame being powder coated, and then the installation. I want to have 2 solid weeks of us being able to install on site. I don't think that it will take that long, but like I said, I'm just accounting for any what ifs.
So basically, the event sponsorship program that she's applying for tonight is just to get her rolling on it, and just so that we can reimburse her for any funds. But, because if you are, let's just say it's in early October, right? But you've been doing all this work, we want to make sure that you're reimbursed those funds before that October 1st. And we're having a DDA meeting September 20, I can't remember. So just the timing of this is just to get her going
And approved with a date TBD.
Correct. Or because
Ready to commit.
the funds can't exceed $1,000 anyways. So and the way that the action item is written is to not exceed $1,000. So regardless, whenever she is able to do the unveiling, she can do it on whatever date she's able to do it. And then she's already approved for the grant to do the event. So
I would like to have that's why I was like, what day is homecoming? Because I know it's getting into October. It's like, we don't know what's going to happen with the weather. I know we've had an event in October before, and that was thankfully very nice. I would feel much more confident, even if we push it back a week. I'm just accounting for like 2 weeks of, if anything goes wrong, that I have time to stay on track with things. I would feel much more confident and comfortable if, I think it's October 4th is the first Saturday, right, in October. Mm-hmm. If we were to put out the information to the public to have community gathering,
Time are you planning on that? Because the Educational Foundation has a function on Macomb Street that Saturday at 6 o'clock.
okay.
I couldn't remember what date that was.
Okay, and what
Halloween parade too.
does that all entail?
What
is it?
It's a big fundraiser. It's kind of like a German beer garden, if you will,
Okay,
for the Educational Foundation fundraiser.
okay. And where is that at?
It'll be
Is
right
that-
on by Dr. Cleese built the vacant grass spot right there.
Okay.
But they'll be parking up and down the street, all of that fun stuff, and that starts at 6.
Okay.
Might be kind of fun to do them both in one day.
I don't know, I just wanted to make sure we all knew that.
Yeah.
We
Because
have
it
to
will
be
be
a
very
morning.
busy down there.
I mean, it might be good for
Yeah,
it.
I'm
It
not
could be
saying it
good.
wouldn't be. Yeah, no,
with
yeah.
everyone already down there. Yeah, maybe I could talk with them too, and
I'm on that board too.
okay, maybe I can talk with you, and we can get the word out to everyone that is involved with that. Thank you, though, I know there's so many things going on that I think there's going to be something happening
There will be.
every weekend, no matter what. But I don't always think that that's necessarily a bad thing. It could bring more people. But I'd like to have a solid month of being able to advertise. And if we want to do another banner type of,
Yeah.
have it on Macomb Street so that people driving by can see that. Maybe we have it right at Lions Park.
Sure.
Yeah, that's at 6.
It starts at 6.
Okay.
So we're setting up early that morning, probably like 8
Okay.
to noon, and then we all get to go back home and then come back and get ready for the shenanigans.
What time does it typically?
I think the band stops playing at 11-ish.
Okay. Okay.
On this event a couple years ago, I wasn't on the board at that point, but it starts
Okay.
at 6 and it'll go to at least 11. Anticipate probably 100 and maybe 200 people.
Okay.
But that's an adult event, right?
It is an adult
So,
event,
like,
yeah.
your event's gonna be with kids that help fill these things out.
So
and
if you
stuff,
did
right?
that in the afternoon.
All ages have
Yeah.
done our tiles, so it's all ages and just anyone that, you know,
What
wants
time
to.
do you thinking, like earlier in the afternoon on Saturday?
I mean, I was thinking like 4 or 5, but
Okay.
I don't know. What do you guys?
I think 5 o'clock would be perfect if their event starts at 6 or 4:30 or 5.
So,
Okay,
well,
and maybe I could
those
Yeah,
give
people-
you a
'cause I-
call and we can
We're gonna be
talk
getting
more,
ready to
just
go to that party.
logistics
Yeah, I would
about
want to let
how.
Kurt know too, because he runs the
They're not
gift, so
gonna
I
have
just want
kids
to make
with
sure that
them.
that's like,
Yeah,
not that
thank
we
you.
have to have desk
With a
permission,
little
but I just want to
gap.
make sure
Do
we
it
No,
make
I.
two and then have a
That's when
gap
they were
so they
talking
can-
about
Yeah.
homecoming. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
many
Let
dates
them work
happening.
I
So, yeah.
know,
I think he has a very
yeah.
valid point, though.
Yeah.
That people from that party are gonna be getting ready at like the 4 o'clock hour to go to that party.
What about a Sunday? I'm just throwing that out there because I know they do the concert in the park on a Sunday evening.
I'm a morning person.
Is
I would
that
do it at 11
something?
a.m.
What was that?
I'm a morning person. I would do it like at
Like
11
8
a.m.
Be there,
No,
people.
then, no.
But I know you want maybe
No,
Zion.
no,
What do you
no.
I think you should get together with the foundation
Okay.
and talk to them and see if it works. I mean, maybe the 27th is the right day.
We'd have to think logistically parking too. For both events.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll work on it.
Okay. Yeah, or I mean, I think Friday. I don't know.
Fridays are tough. I was thinking, yeah.
Football.
You said tough. Oh. No, I think we're talking about
Nope,
it would be
I'm-
the 3rd.
I'm talking about October 4th,
October
Saturday,
3rd.
so the third, it's not a parade, correct?
No.
No, because homecoming's the following.
Yeah, the following.
So either Friday or again, Sunday afternoon too. Just a thought. I don't know. Nobody's happy about Sunday. Okay.
We will decide by the end of the week next week. That will, like I said, I just want to have at least a good month, especially to have a Facebook event to get that circulating, and just get the interest out there, and then put a banner out and email, all that. So I just
Okay.
want to make sure I have some type of wiggle room, because,
Thanks, Ally.
okay, thank you
Appreciate it.
guys. Thank
Thank
you.
Thanks for the
you.
update. We'll move on to our next item, which is the public comment. Anyone in the public want to make a comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to our approval of the minutes of the July 24th, 2025 meeting minutes.
A motion to approve?
Motion by Ms. Armiak. Support by
Mr.
Mr. Ranley.
I think so.
Support by Mr. Ranley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is our financial update, the approval of the July 2025 financials. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look those over. Anyone have any questions? Ross, anything to point out of significance this month?
Nope. We will start next month. I just want to give everyone a heads up. The payment for watering the flowers, they do look great, but that does come at an extra cost. So it was Carl Moore doing that, and now it's our DPS crew doing that, where they're watering every day. And I'm just wanted to give a heads up for the next financial update. So
Give us a warning, huh? They do look much, much improved.
Yeah.
There's no other comments or questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Ranley, supported by Mr. Jacobson to approve the July 2025 financial statements. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Move on to our action items. Our first action item is to motion to approve the professional services agreement with OHM Advisors. And Ross, we do want to put a value on that, right? Because it was 37,
7:30.
Yeah, we already approved that figure at the
Did that?
last
Okay.
meeting, so this is just
Okay.
the agreement.
all right, so we're just
Yep.
basically approving the wording of the agreement.
Correct.
Okay.
And just while we're discussing, so, yeah, I did send this out to you all earlier, the draft. So there's two sections of this agreement. The main agreement essentially is an overarching ongoing services agreement. So anytime that we'd want to utilize OHM for future services, whether that be zoning updates, whether that be, hey, we really love the DDA TIF plan and the streetscape renderings that you did for us. We want to do this project, then they would do the engineering behind that. So, and then we have task order number 1, which is the DDA TIF plan update, which gets in the specific of the plan. So just wanted to clarify. And our attorneys have reviewed this, so.
Got a motion by Mr. Anderson,
I'll support.
or by Ms. Karn. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next action item is a motion to purchase the base, so it does say base, I stand corrected.
Oh.
Purchase the base and the sculpture windows by Kelly O'Neill in the amount of $4,000 for both the base and the sculpture.
We discussed before that, or we need to vote first?
Typically, Robert's rule says you're supposed to make a motion and then discuss.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'm sorry, no, I thought they were just asking. I'll make a motion then, to purchase the base and sculpture windows, by Kelly O'Neill in the amount $4,000, which would be 2 per base.
Got a motion by Supervisor Porcarelli. Is there any support?
I'll support.
Karn.
I can't always tell who's on that side making a motion. Got a motion by Supervisor Porcarelli, supported by Ms. Karn, to approve the purchase of windows by Kelly O'Neill in the amount of $4,000. Is there any discussion?
So-
Mr. Ranley?
So I have a hard time voting yes for either of these purchases without, so my issue is not with the art itself, is it sits on a base. I'd rather spend the money on landscaping and lighting these things. We've talked about that for a number of years, so rather than having 5 or 6 pieces and let's say we decide to purchase one of those, we have it in the budget, let's do it, but for the better part of more than a year, we don't do some of these other things. So we got a really nice piece of art sitting on a plain concrete slab 4 inches above the grass level, and I'd rather spend the money on highlighting the piece, because it either blends into the background or it sits on at best an eyesore of a platform. So if we have the money and the funds to purchase the 2, but if the opportunity cost is let's spend $4,000 or $6,000 in some of that stuff, I would advocate for the latter, and let's really highlight what we have and make that nice.
I'm all for that once we purchase the pieces. I think the next step is to light them and to highlight them, because I do agree that just having the piece out there, it's not as, you don't notice it as much if it's not lit and if there isn't something around it to sort of showcase it, so.
To Brad's point, we've talked about lighting these sculptures, and we've relied on word of mouth folks. Hey, I know this guy who does lighting, and then that falls through. I know another guy that knows lighting. So maybe the next step is to do an RFP and solicit, vendors to do the lighting that we want.
I just heard this week of someone else that.
Oh,
we
geez,
might be
okay.
able to call.
Well, okay, one more
But-
guy, but.
No, I mean, I'm happy to do an RFP if that's what we want to do, but it
Yeah.
just, purely coincidental, I heard of someone that was suggested I should call.
And I
Okay.
guess more than lighting, because, yeah, it's dark at 8:30 now, but how many people are on Macomb Street at 8:30 at night right now? I mean, maybe it's more important to because truly you do drive right by them. I mean, whether there's landscaping or whatever else goes around them. But, I mean, lighting, for me, that's just my opinion. I'm on Macomb, I work late sometimes. Not a lot of people on Macomb Street at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, when we need lights. In
Walking-
the summer, yes, but it's light till 9. So I don't know, just my thought.
What was that, Jerry?
I said there are quite a few people that walk out there, and we've walked our dog up and down there in the evenings. And,
In the dark?
Yeah.
yeah, in the dark, and yeah, there's been. I'm surprised how many people we ran into walking after dark.
Social district, that would also help promote that as well with the lighting.
Yeah, I think the lighting's an important element of the art. I think to finish what we started. And then also, in regards to spending money on that piece, we already have an initial investment. So it's like, complete this phase, purchase, and then, we're not discussing adding new pieces right now. It's purchasing what we've already invested in to date.
So the next piece is a new piece, though.
The concrete?
No, the abstract glass.
Oh,
Right.
Right.
So, yeah, because the abstract glass would replace where Windows is right now.
Yeah.
So,
But it's not a new piece, it's a piece that's already out there,
no.
right?
No,
Not
this
on
is new.
Macomb.
No.
Was her
She's
prototype.
taking the samples
So,
from,
let me-
or not the
Okay.
samples, but
Okay.
this
Yep,
was it.
yep, nope,
You got it?
yeah, I got it.
Which again, I'm not opposed to that. I think
Right.
it looks nice. It ties back into everything we did. Somebody made those, but I just want to make sure that we continue to talk and have a plan for that
Yeah,
art. So
it's this
it's and we just don't have that at this point. I agree, right? We're for $2,000, that piece of art makes sense. I don't know that the abstract glass panel is a necessary thing. I get it. We're going to have a concrete pad without anything on it, but
Any other comments, questions? If not, we have a motion by Supervisor Porcarelli, supported by Ms. Karn, to approve the purchase of the windows by Kelly O'Neill in the amount of $4,000. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3 is a motion to purchase sculpture Untitled abstract glass panel by Wyandotte Art Glass in the amount of $2,500.
I'll make a motion, just get it on the table.
Got a motion by Ms. Pucak,
A second?
or by Ms. Armiak. Under discussion.
I guess Brad's question is, do we need it? So, I don't know.
Yeah,
Have we budgeted for it?
we're gonna have a pretty tight budget as it is. As far as lighting, I wish I could pull up, actually, let's see here. Last month's meeting. All right, so. So total estimated remaining is $33,000. But for our capital improvements outline, which includes the community sculpture, the parking lot, which that's a whole other discussion. I'm not entirely sure if the parking lot's going to get done this year. I was told July, then I was told August. The contractor that the township is utilizing is doing all the roads on Grosse Hill, as well as the bike path across the street here. Joe, do you have any insight onto that? It's Al's Asphalt.
I don't know, have the completion date, no.
Yeah. So it's whenever all that concrete gets across here, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do the D-Day parking lot, which, I mean, we're getting into fall, so hopefully it'll be done by fall. But and
But it
then,
is scheduled, I'm sorry, it is scheduled before then, but, I mean, it will be done by fall.
okay,
Or whatever you're looking
Whatever.
at fall, yeah,
Yeah.
end of, or October.
and then we just paid those funds for the Lions Park furnishings, the benches and the trash receptacle. So we really have 6,500 left over for any additional sculptures, which we're at 6,500. So I guess we can afford it, but that is a tight budget. So as far as lighting these sculptures, we just have to make that as a priority for next year's budget, or once we, in a couple months from now, we kind of reassess our budget to see if we can go out to RFP before winter and get them done.
When's the budget reset?
April of next year. So,
You're basically telling us we can't afford it.
I am, yes. Albeit, a tight budget, but we
Yep.
can afford it, yeah. Based off these estimates.
Any further discussion? Any other comments? Okay, we've got a motion by Ms. Pucak, supported by Ms. Armiak. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
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 We have, Mr. Ranley and Ms. Pucak voted no.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Will you make
Yep.
note of that?
Yep.
So the motion carries. Next item is a motion to approve the event sponsorship program for community sculpture unveiling in an amount not to exceed $1,000.
I'll move to support or add it,
Motion.
yes.
Motion by Ms. Pucak, supported by
I'll second, yeah.
Mr. Ranley. Any discussion? I think we talked through most of that issue, that it's probably either going to be on September 27th or maybe October 4th. If there's no further discussions, we have a motion by Ms. Pucak, supported by Mr. Ranley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is a motion to approve the purchase of the Christmas tree in the amount of $4,200.
This is the permanent tree, right? This can be planted? Okay.
If you look on the screen, the tree that's in the middle is the one that we are purchasing.
24 feet, right?
Okay.
Yep, it's a 24-foot tree.
And compared to when we looked at an artificial, it was, if I remember, in the $15,000 to $18,000 range.
Yeah, right.
So, just a quick comment on that. So, learning from the flowers,
Yep.
when this gets planted, it's gonna need to be watered and stuff for a while until it gets its roots, so we need to make sure we have a plan to,
Yep, yeah, definitely.
somebody's gonna take care of that.
Yep, we could get the DPS guys on it. Or I can include that in Carl Moore's, because he cuts, Lions Park semi-regularly, so I could just have him go over there and water it, because we do have that spigot over there, so.
I mean, is there any kind of guarantee with the tree? Sometimes you do get a guarantee,
What do you mean?
like if it died, you get,
Get your money
I mean,
back?
yeah, I mean, if we, hopefully like whoever, we're buying it from, they're gonna tell us exactly, or are they gonna plant it
Yeah, no, they're gonna plant it,
Yeah. and then tell us what to do
yeah, yep.
to follow, keep it alive protocol?
So it was Scott, so Matt Scott, he just installed all the trees on Lions Park on the west side, and he's been watering them too, so he'll make sure that they're watered for, at least a week or two, and then we'll get in there and have it watered, so.
Did it go right in the middle where we were putting the tree, or where do you guys have it?
No, it's the southwest corner, so where we remove the trees.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Closer
go,
to the Macomb Street
That's a
then.
good.
yep, so yeah, it's gonna be like right when you drive by, you'll be able to see it pretty good. Yep.
That's awesome.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Jacobson, supported by Ms. Armiak to approve purchase of the Christmas tree in the amount of $4,200. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is our discussion items, the Michigan Main Street scorecard. Ross?
Yeah, so just kind of leaving off where we were last month, or picking up where we left off last month. I hope that some of you were able to kind of do some of the training for the Michigan Main Street, what it's all about, the best practices of, developing a Main Street. And if we want to be enrolled in the Main Street program, as, Lee discussed last month, one part of it is doing the scorecard, where we evaluate our DDA, we evaluate our downtown and all the things that we're doing, just to kind of, just evaluate ourselves. So this is the scorecards attached to your agenda. I was just thinking maybe by the time next month, everyone kind of fill this out and then submit their scores to me a week before or 2 weeks before the meeting. And then, I'll kind of do an average of everyone's scores and we can all talk about it.
Is this the same thing we did in the online training?
Yes. It's
Did
the
you
same-
guys?
Yeah, like,
It's in
can they
there.
send that to you versus us having to redo it?
Yeah, 100%. Please
Okay.
do. Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I did the training. I completed it a couple of years ago, so I can't remember if it was
I think
still.
because you hit the link for me, it told me that I was already done.
Oh,
So I
really?
didn't- I mean, I watched other portions of the thing, but
Okay.
I wonder if they'll let me back in to just do it online.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, if you guys already have the scorecard, just send that right over.
You
So-
can't just complete the scorecard, you have to go through each module to open up to allow you to get to that. It's like the 7th module is the scorecard.
Okay. Yeah.
It's later on in the training.
Gotcha. But for those who, if you can't access it or have trouble, you could download the PDF. It's like on their website somewhere that you can find it, and I can send you the scorecard too if you haven't done it.
So you want everybody to complete it prior to the next meeting so you can put together a summary and present it to us?
Right. Yeah. That's if we are still interested in being a part of the program. Because once we get that scorecard, then I send it off to them and say, hey, we want to be a part of this. That's sort of the final step to it. So.
Is there anyone here that does not want to be part of the program?
Cool.
Okay.
Any thoughts on the session, the training?
Yeah, it's like it appears that it's like an amazing roadmap.
Yeah.
And exactly what's kind of been missing from.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's how I felt when I went through it. I go, I wish I had this 30 years ago or 40 years.
How long did it take to do the training and the
Like
scorecard?
2 hours, maybe
about
2
2
hours,
hours,
yeah, probably took the full.
And you can come and go too, you don't have
Yeah.
to sit there.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Glad to hear, guys. Thank you.
Next item is our DDA Director's Report, Art in the Aisle Expenditures. And
Yep.
go ahead.
Yep. So there's a lot of discussion about, where are all the sculptures? Which ones do we own? Which one did we rent? So I just kind of put this report together of everything that we've rented, everything that we've purchased with totals of all expenditures and then total owned assets. So to date, we spent $272,000 total over the past 3 years. And we have total owned assets of $141,500. So just kind of want to put into perspective all the work that's been gone into Art on the Aisle over the past 3 years. So
You kind of forget until you see this all in writing.
I know.
How much we've done over the last 3 years, so.
yep.
Anybody have any questions on the list here? Thanks for putting this together, Ross.
Yeah.
That's
that was
good.
helpful.
Move on to our next item, which is the grant tracking.
This is just going to be a stationary thing in the packets from now on, just to help me and for you all to be aware of what grants we have, when they when do they come up, when are they finished, how much have we gotten. So I just threw this together real quick and thought it'd be nice to include in the packet. So that's it.
Any questions for Ross on the grants? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is the chairman's report, and I have nothing new to report tonight. So we'll go back to public comment. No one in the public tonight. Does any board member have any open business? Open business. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Jacobson, supported by Supervisor Porcarelli to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Thanks.